Hello, you're very welcome to Destination Newry's News Bite here on a Friday evening. We've got a full house here, and we've got Paddy, Sinead, Ewan, and Mickey, and we're going to be talking to him. So I have to firstly welcome Ewan. This is his debut on community TV on Destination Newry. Cal's still here, so we'll give Cal a wee wave as well. And Sinead, Paddy, and Mickey. But before we do that, before we talk to our community activists, I'm just going to give you a little quick synopsis of the news. One further death has reported by the Department of Health in the north of Ireland, bringing the total here to 548. Three more people have died from COVID-19 in Ireland, bringing the overall death total in the Republic to 1,730.
This doesn't usually happen.
I think that we have maybe possibly lost Damien, have we, for a second? So let me just see, does he come back in? He's still talking.
I'm still talking here, Cahill, yeah. So I'm just talking now about the deaths in Wales. So the deaths in Wales is at 1,499. And over here, Newry Morning down, 356 people confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 46 people died in the same area. Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, 748 confirmed cases with 83 deaths in that area. And ministers asked to make face coverings on public transport compulsory. Infrastructure Minister Nicola Mallon will ask the Northern Ireland Executive to make the wearing of face coverings compulsory on public transport. Maybe we'll ask Sinead about that one. She's up there on the hill. And it's decision time in the south of Ireland, where Fianna Fáil and the Green Party are sitting counting as we speak. Fine Gael, they have made the decision. 80% voted in favour of the deal. So people in the Republic of Ireland will find out later this evening whether a new Irish government will be formed over the weekend or will we go on for an election. And the GAA announced a format about the championship. The championship is a straight knockout. Ulster versus Leinster and Connacht versus Munster. And the All-Ireland this year will be a Christmas final. Carlow. 3 names have emerged as contenders to replace Turlough O'Brien as the Carlow football manager. Stephen Poocher, Pat Crinchley and Aero boss Joe Murphy. But Poocher, the coach from the era, has signalled an interest in speaking to Carlow officials. Poocher stepped away from his role as team coach last year due to mental fatigue, but with the past now vacant job and after having a long break because of the COVID-19, the Down man is re-energised and would not rule out the possibility of stepping into inter-county management. He is currently part of the Down management team, so that's something to look forward to. And we have a couple of Down people here. Maybe we'll ask them about that. Stephen Poocher as the Carlow manager. How does that tickle the fancies there with all the Down people? Ewan, we'll give you the first chance here. I know you're here as the vice chairman of the Barcroft Community Association. But before you answer that, the Cranchago, the development, Ewan, up there on the back of the hill is taking some shape now and it's looking really, really good.
It is indeed, Damien, yeah. And when you actually see the building, now that beautiful edifice starting to come up out of the soil there, you can see the potential is going to be there, not just for Thomas Davis GFC, but for the entire area. I think, Damien, you ended your days with Thomas Davis, did you not?
Oh, I did, yes.
Yeah, I think you and I actually played in the game together.
We did indeed just now when you mentioned that. I went over there to play for a year. I went over to play for a year for Jerry Riley to ease out of Gaelic games, and I ended up, I think I played 7 or 8 years, and to be fair, it was great fun. But we have to say, Ewan, this is some development, one of the biggest developments in this area, and it's an absolute credit to Cranchago, or Thomas Davis Newry, as they're called now, and of course our old friend Jerry Riley is to the forefront of that, so we have to commend them that. But Sinead and Mickey and Paddy, what about Stephen Poocher as the Carlow manager? I think the GA needs Poocher in there as an inter-county manager. He'll definitely bring a little bit of colour and a little bit of debate to the table.
Yeah, absolutely, Damien. I think that's something that Stephen's renowned for. But here, Stephen's a very, very accomplished coach, and he's cut his teeth in that role with a number of clubs in Down, and again with a number of clubs in the county. So this is probably a natural progression for him and a natural step up. And definitely, I wish Stephen all the best in whatever role he takes. But it seems likely that he is indeed headed for management, inter-county management at that.
What do you think, Mickey?
Well, reading in the Irish News today, there's no doubt that he has the experience. He's been a number of years with Carlow now, and just stepped away, I think, last year. And there's no doubt a few of the players quoted would be quite content and happy to see him get the post. So it all looks positive for him. But again, you never know until the decision is taken and the person's named. But it would be a huge step forward for him.
Paddy, would you like to see Stephen in there as the Carlow manager?
I couldn't tell you who he is. If he walked past me on the street, I wouldn't know him. I'm more offended that you thought we were all. I'm more offended you thought we were all down fans. Some of us aren't down fans.
I knew I'm not. So there you go. So you must be an Armagh man then, are you?
Our house is Armagh. I think we're the only house that's
there we go. Great. I sort of thought
that would excuse the lack of knowledge of football then.
I should sort of think that Ewan Morgan should be an Armagh man as well, you know. But anyway,
we come to the historic townland of Ballabot as a free thinking zone, Damien. Everybody picks and chooses for themselves there. Very democratic we are.
What's your postcode there, Ewan, in that area?
We don't recognise any imposed postcodes. Sorry about that.
BP35. Listen.
Sorry about that, Damien.
Is Camel's postcode not County Down?
Indeed, it's not. Thanks everybody for tuning in this evening. We better move on here because I have a notion Santa Claus could be delivering a big present to Armagh this year. So Ewan, you're making your debut here this evening on our community TV. So it's great to have you here. I know you're a long time involved in community activism up in around Ballabot and Barcroft, and we're delighted to have you here. So tell us what's happening up that end of the town.
Well, first of all, Damien, thanks for having me, and thanks for Cal for contacting Barcroft Community Association and ask us to take part in the news bites that you have here. I'm here in my role as vice chair of the Barcroft Community Association. I just see the first photograph going up there. Basically, our catchment area, Damien, is from Spring Martin through Lawanda, Balliner Court, Balliner Gardens, all of Barcroft Park, and right down to Raymond Kelly Park. So it's a huge catchment area, over 600 houses, and it's also important to mention that Barcroft is one of, if not the oldest, community association in Newry, going back 50 years now. And even I don't go back that far, but we've had some great stalwarts over the years that have been supporting Barcroft through times, good times and bad. And that went through everything, through history, including what was known as the Troubles, through adversary. And irrespective of what it was, everybody remembers the good times and the community spirit that's always been in Barcroft. So as I said, if you can't live in this greater Barcroft area, our community association prides itself on promoting inclusivity and restoring community spirit. So we do that for everyone and anyone, without fear or without prejudice to anyone. And there's just 4 photographs there that Cal's putting up there just covering that. Unfortunately, all of our programs were seriously curtailed this year due to the COVID-19 and the lockdown, which you've covered very well, Damien, throughout this past couple of weeks on that. Unfortunately, our centre, our magnificent centre, is closed as well because it's a council-owned building. But that hasn't stopped our hard-working committee working away in the background, helping families, both vulnerable and others, throughout, and helping to access people on what their benefits are, on what it is they're actually deserving and in need of. I need to mention too that 2 of our committee members are also frontline health workers, Damien. We are very proud of the fact that both Kathy, there's a picture of Kathy there in our mask, Kathy McAllister, and Mary Boyle. I think there's a photograph of Mary. Yes, there's Mary there. And they are professional to their backbones, and they're out there on the front line during the pandemic, putting their own health and their well-being in the front line against this horrible pandemic. But we're very proud in our community association of the role that they play. And despite all that, no matter what happens, they're still there for the community. And I still get a call in the mornings from Mary, I'm going to the shop, Ewan, is there anybody in your area who needs anything while I'm down there? That's a lady after doing a 8 or 12-hour shift. So we're very proud of the close relationship that our community has with the NHS. As you know, the Dayshill Hospital is right beside us, adjacent to us here, Damien. And we also have, and anybody who knows where our community association is here, on Dorrans Hill, they will know that we have a very close relationship there also with the Newry Felons ex-prisoners group, who are a wee community garden based in the grounds of Ballaball House Community Centre. I've got a few wee photographs there of that as well, Cal, as well. You know, there's a picture of Kevin Henry there working on his wee cottages there, whatever on that there. I think of another one there as well. There's Peter Connolly and Eamon Murphy working away on benches there. So the guys were very busy using social distancing, adhering at all times to proper health and safety issues, working away in the garden. And the beauty of it is people going up and down the hill, see the activity there, and it brings a good sparkle of positivity to what has been not a great situation so far. But the guys have been designing. We have another wee photograph there, Cal, designing garden furniture and plant arrangements. And I know they've had a few open days on that as well. And if and when, we actually at the stage now they'll be able to publish their wares and show their wares for the general populace. They've asked me just to mention that one of their stalwarts, founder member Sammy O'Hare, died in the dock recently. Sammy was originally a Pool Lane man, born for Crossroad, where I was born in Dalby Street. So Sammy was a good Ballabot man through and through. Sammy died, and they're having a wee engagement tomorrow for Sammy up there in the garden at 3 p.m. I know Sammy's wife and a few other people are coming down for that. So I don't know what the weather's like tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was today, but just saying, if anybody's in the area, please feel free to call into the Newry Felons ex-prisoners garden there and join in whatever it is, the wee thing they're putting on. I know it's my first night, but I just want to cover a few things that we can go back to in the future, Damien, on that. But I just want to mention our own wee hero up right here, and that's Master Alfie Pentney, aged 7 years, and there's a wee photograph there of Alfie. Alfie suffers from Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and as people may know, that is not exactly a good disease to have, and it's mostly fatal, whatever on that. But Alfie doesn't know or even idea how to accept defeat. Alfie's been fighting this from his birth and has become an absolute ambassador for his family and for the Barcroft community in general, and Newry as well. And his mummy, Colleen, despite all the work that has to be done there, Colleen's a very active member of our community association as well. And at the end of the my piece tonight, we have a wee video there, and there's a wee piece in it of Alfie, because he had to raise, between him and 4 other kids, £26,000 for the Operation Lifeline, which is to go to America for treatment over there on it. Alfie is currently in America with his father at the moment on that. So when he was doing this up in the barley field, he was doing his own wee marathons, going up every night, running so many laps of the barley field. That's also in the wee video at the end, so I'll not hang around too much on that. But basically what it is, Damien, is trying to raise the money on that. And again, next week, if I'm on next week, I'll give details for people that wish to help donate to that on that. So again, as I say, Alfie Pentney, Barcroft and Newry's own superhero, and he's an absolute credit to everyone. So can I just say, I just want to move on then, I know what Sinead's there and she might want to talk about it later on, but it's in relation to how some of our youth club members, not over the years, have been involved in things and how they came back to us when we most needed them. And Barcroft wasn't just about just teaching people how to support young people. It was also about the arts, and it was about dance and acting and singing or whatever on that there, especially under former management of Raymond Thompson. Raymond was the chairperson of Barcroft Community Association for many years and actually excelled in developing young people's personalities on that. So I'm sure his head would be done to me mentioning that, but Ramy will be known in Barcroft's history for what he did. One of his little characters, I remember a little red-haired girl used to come up there and always very willing to help, especially to the forefront when anything needed done, was our own Liz Kimmins from the 4th Street. And Liz, who has now been co-opted recently as an MLA, having been a councillor in Newry and Warren Council, she was heavily involved in the most recent discussions with the Southern Trust and especially Chief Executive Shane Devlin. And that's that photograph I have up there, Cahill, of Liz telling Shane in no uncertain terms that the Accident and Emergency Department must be returned to Daisy Hill in Newry. Now, there were many people played their part in that, including the Pathfinder group and all and that there, but there was no one as passionate about it as Liz. And there she's there in the photograph along with Shane Devlin arguing the case for the reopening. And I know we've got some good news this week about it possibly open September. I can leave that with Sinead if she wishes on that, but we are very proud of our wee working class girl from the 4th Street representing Barcroft on the hill. So I'm now going to just move on then. I'm coming very closely in. You'll be glad to hear, Damien. As I say, we mentioned about Liz being one of our former youth people coming through. Another wee girl we have is a wee girl called Chantel Rose McCreesh, 15-year-old Chantel. So as a tribute to resilience of the citizens of Barcroft, our community association got together and we said that to show Barcroft's ability to withstand this COVID-19 pandemic, we actually produced a wee video, and there's Chantel with her mum, Colleen. Colleen's also a member of the Barcroft Community Association, very active. She's got a young mum on what she's doing, but gives her time very freely. So basically, we asked Chantel, as another former youth club member, could she come forward? We've heard good stories about her as a singer. In fact, I approached her mommy first because her mommy was singing at a funeral recently in Dominican, and her voice was unreal. But she says, "No, Ewan, it's not me you need, it's our Chantel. She's better." But then I don't mind you good people hearing this and being the judge of that. Can you say, Damien, when we were growing up, it was Susie Quattro and Debbie Harry were my famous female singers. I've been told that the song that Chantel's going to sing is by the famous singer Adele. Apparently is an absolutely excellent singer. It's called Make You Feel My Love. So if you don't mind, Cal, would you mind playing the wee video of Chantel singing Make You Feel My Love?
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, and I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There's nothing I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
Can you hear me okay, Damien?
Yeah. Keep talking there, Ewan.
We often, and often what's abused and mistermed, saying a voice of an angel, but I think in this case I make an exception. I thought Chantal Rose was unreal. You may have seen, we tried to get as many of our hard-working committee into that video as possible. But I just want to finish tonight with one thing, just to mention our chairperson, Collie Hannah. I think I have a photograph there, Collie, on it. I know we'd be mortified if we're putting it up. But Collie Hannah actually produced, videoed and directed that entire piece there that we just seen. I don't know if there's a photograph there. Cahill off him. No? Okay. He must have stolen it. He couldn't have stolen it. But the point there is, there's Collie there and the rest. The man behind the scenes that turns the wheels, that gets everything done. And there's very, you know yourself these days, people clamber for publicity and all the rest, Damien. But then there's the real heroes in the background that keep the wheels turning. And the last photograph it has is just of our, a group photograph of our association at an AGM. And that is me finished for tonight, if you're okay with that, Damien.
Oh, listen, Ewan, very passionate community activist from Barcroft, and I can feel your passion. I can feel your love for the area that you come from. And yes, and why wouldn't you be? Because Barcroft, a very famous part of Newry, and great people. I remember taking a girl home from the parochial hall one night, hadn't a clue where Barcroft was, and anyway, I left her home and I had to walk home to Camla. No taxis in them days, but
no questions asked.
No. So yeah, and then you did talk about Susie Quattro and all that, and this whole lockdown. I've been sort of watching that on Sky TV 373, and Susie Quattro has been on. So I think you're a wee bit older than you're letting on. You are there, But listen, thanks a million. Great roundup, and of course to your frontline workers on your committee, and we Alfie and Chantal. A lovely way to finish it. A lovely voice, and you did say a voice of an angel, but a name like Chantal and a voice like that wee girl's going to go places, and maybe sometime we'll get her in, and maybe we'll get her live on the community TV here and get an old song sang. So listen, Ewan, thanks a million, and we hope to see you next week. And now I'm going to go to down to the shores of Warrenpoint. I'm going to talk to Mickey Ruane and Sinead Ennis. And Sinead, just before you talk, I know that Ewan did talk there about the great people that come from Barcroft and the area, and Liz and yourself and all that, and what you're doing. But in relation to, I suppose, wearing masks on public transport, I sort of think that's really a sensible thing to do. I know the minister wants that to be agreed with the executive, but I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, I suppose, Jamie, you remember at the start of this pandemic, the wearing of masks, especially in, you see people in Tesco doing their shopping, and it was quite common. I think as we're moving out of the lockdown phases, and I suppose it's a natural thing. People just, maybe their guards down, or they think the danger has passed. But we know that there is. You read out the figures at the start, and we know that the virus is very much still here, and that people are still contracting it, and people are still unfortunately dying. So yes, indeed, I think the minister is making a recommendation to the executive that certainly on public transport. Now it's only a recommendation, Damien, and it is up to people to use their own common sense and to take responsibility for it themselves. So it's a recommendation that people do that. It's for their own protection, at the end of the day. And I think it's sort of it comes with a light touch in terms of enforcement. So
yeah,
again,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem, Sinead. I sort of, when I look at, there's another 100 and so many, 140, 150 people died in the UK. I mean, that's like everywhere else in Europe seems to be going down, but the UK just seems to be sitting in around 140, 150, 160 every 24 hours. And and this thing isn't over, so we have to be careful. But listen, we don't want to be depressing people on a Friday evening here with the lovely week and the lovely weather we hit. So between yourselves, and I know you did talk about the AGM, about the harbour and what have you, and I'm going to talk to you about you have to tell us about the bridge, any more developments of the bridge. So take it away, the two of you there. Tell us what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, so
well, go ahead, Sinead.
Go ahead, Vicky.
No, I was just going to say, first of all, obviously, before we start, it's on a sad note that we do so tonight, and the death of a man who made a huge contribution to the community of Warrenpoint, Paul McAvoy. Paul was 99 years old and unfortunately passed away this week. We'd first of all like to pass on our condolences to Paul's family, friends and neighbours in the town. I would have got to know Paul in the last maybe 10, 15 years. He was a local photographer. Himself and his sidekick, Billy McKinley, the two of them travelled everywhere together. Obviously, as a local councillor and positions within the council, and events, festivals, etc. The two guys would have been there taking the photographs. So I would have met them on numerous occasions. The two guys were a credit to the town, a credit to themselves, really two gentlemen. And when Billy died a number of years back, it left Paul with a void because Billy was his taxi. The two of them, as I say, travelled everywhere together. Obviously, in the last couple of years, I don't think Paul's health was that great and I hadn't seen him about as much, but it was sad news to hear that he had passed away during the week. And again, just to pass on our condolences to Paul and his family and friends.
Yeah, and I suppose, Mickey, there's probably, there's hardly a person at a point that wouldn't know who Paul was. So it is very sad, and as you said, there we would have got to know him quite well over the last number of years, being at council events and different things. So people will have really, really fond memories of Paul, and I suppose some of their own memories would have been pictures taken by Paul. So he certainly does have a place in people's hearts, especially around the Warrenpoint area. So listen, moving on just to different news. So we just really wanted to mark the fact that we're coming to the end of the school term, and of course we'll have a few people who'll be finishing their school their school lives, whether that's primary school or whether that's secondary school. And I know these are strange times. Obviously, we spoke about it at the start about the pandemic, and I think it's a little bit sad in the fact that the kids are missing out on that rite of passage, really, that sort of that milestone of leaving school and getting together with all your friends for that one last time. So we'll have kids around the point from St Allen's, St Mark's and Tremore Road as well, and we just wanted to mark that just to say, look, best of luck to all the kids who are moving on to the next step in their own personal journey, just to mark that.
Yeah, just to join in that there as well, I actually noticed a few kids in my own estate where I live, where they had their hooded tops with the big 20 on the back with all, obviously, the names of their classmates and that on it. It's unfortunate they missed out on their last days of either primary school or their last days of secondary school. But it's unfortunate. It's where we are at this moment in time. But again, just to acknowledge such a huge change in their lives and wish them well in the future.
Yeah. And I suppose, credit to the teaching staff as well, because I know they've been trying to do things digitally and trying to market in some way. So just to pay tribute to all the teaching staff and all the kids who are leaving school at the minute. You've got the wee graphic up there, Cal, and Damien, I know you'll be excited about this as well. And it's the return to play for the GAA. So there is a few box ticking exercises to take place before that can happen, and I know Warrenpoint GAA are advertising the health questionnaire, so it's really important for all codes, all ages, in order to get back to play and to return to pitch activities. It's really, really important that everybody completes the online health questionnaire. So if anybody's and I'm sure this information is going out via the various teams, but it's just to make parents especially aware that's for kids as well, the underage teams too. You'll have to go online, and you can find the details of that probably on the Warrenpoint Town Facebook page, and it'll give you a link to, the Warrenpoint GAA Facebook page, and that'll give you a link to the health questionnaire. So that has to be completed before there's any return to pitch activity.
Just in the last couple of days, I'd spoken to a coach of one of the underage teams in the Warrenpoint GA club. Also, I was speaking to one of the youth coaches in Warrenpoint Town, and both are getting ready to get back on the pitch. I know Warrenpoint Town, I think, had the kids up in small groups as of last night, which is great to see. I do know that speaking to the GA coach, they'd obviously been contacting parents to see were they okay with it, and I have to say, by all everything we're hearing is everybody's delighted that it's coming back. I think it's well needed. I think the kids need that their opportunity to get back among each other, to get back playing football with each other, to get back socialising with each other. So it's a huge step forward and most welcome.
And I suppose they've missed that interaction with their peers, obviously through not being at school. So it'll be good for them to get back. Again, moving on to staying on the GA theme. And I know I'm certainly glad to see this, and it's definitely a mouth-watering tie. The draw for the club championships have been made. Big local derby, Warrenpoint draw Burn. So Mickey, we might have a few crosswords by the time that comes around. But I think it's great. And again, it's something to look forward to. It's going to be exciting. Both teams will definitely be up for it. And I think, Mickey, you were saying because we're not sure of the dates yet, but we're thinking maybe around the middle of August for those games.
It seems to be sometime around that date. As I say, it was a great draw, and I think everybody's seen it. I suppose from my own personal point of view, I think I would have preferred it had it been an out-and-out knockout draw. I think the back door sort of takes a wee bit of the bite out of it, because obviously whoever fails on the night's going to have another chance. But again, it never takes away from local derby match between Bourne and Warrenpoint. Obviously, both teams are flying at the moment. Warrenpoint would be looking to kick on from last year, haven't got to the final, maybe trying to go that one step further. And that would be something to be seen by anybody who supports Warrenpoint. But again, even the fact that we're having a county championship and the draw was made last night, that was something I think we'd all given up on. So we all look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe as the football comes back, myself and Damien might have to have a wee conversation about resurrecting the Monday night football show. But we'll come back to that at a later stage. I suppose moving on, Mickey, then there's been a bit of movement in the council this week in terms of helping businesses get back on their feet, and certainly ourselves in Warrenpoint there, we have a lot of a really busy cafe scene and restaurant culture, and a lot of good bars and stuff as well. So there's been some moves this week to try and help those businesses operate and to try and help them recoup some of the the losses that they would have experienced, obviously due to COVID. So Mickey, maybe you just want to give us just a wee insight into some of the initiatives that were proposed in the council this week.
Yeah, I think most people would be aware that it's going to be difficult for businesses as they get back up and going, and particularly cafes, bars, etc. Some premises in the town may have outdoor space and may have beer gardens or areas for eating outside. Others don't. So what the council have been doing is they've been proactively working with some of the businesses in the town who have come forward and said, listen, we have an issue here. And the council are now engaging with the likes of DFI. Proposals are being put forward. And I know of one business in the town, the Ship Inn, who have put forward what is an exciting proposal to the council. And the council have worked alongside them and are now, as I say, engaging with DFI. And hopefully all the boxes will be ticked and that'll become a reality. I would also say to any other business out there, if you have any sort of suggestion or any ideas that you think possibly could work, don't be afraid to contact either through myself or directly with the council, and the relevant officers will have no issue with working alongside you to make that a reality. Council, as Sinead has touched on this week, have given the go-ahead to actively work with the local, it's not just Warrenpoint, it's across the district, to try to accommodate any business out there who may want to use outdoor areas, seating, etc. It's going to be difficult in some places because footpaths are only so wide. Others are looking at wider footpaths, but we'll try our best to accommodate. I do know some of the suggestions going forward, and as I mentioned the Ship earlier on, is the potential for using a couple of parking spaces. And as I say, that is a proposal that's been worked up. So as I say, if you have anything at all that you think it could be viable, let's have a look at it, and I'm no doubt the council will try to make it happen for you. Yeah,
and I think Warrenpoint's probably in a unique you know, a fortunate position, you know, was having the front shore, and obviously we have the space around the square. So, you know, there's definitely a big opportunity there for businesses that want to take it. And as Mickey said, you know, either contact myself or Mickey, or you know, call into the office there on Charlotte Street, and we'll be happy to point people in the right direction. I suppose moving on, Mickey, there was an incident at Warrenpoint Town, an unfortunate incident up at Milltown just there yesterday, just Thursday morning.
Yeah, again, you despair at the events like this here. Obviously, the club, you know, every penny counts. It's a difficult juggling act year in, year out to try to keep the finances and the facilities going and everything else that comes with running what is a club that's in the top league in the country. The Premiership, it's difficult. There's a lot of money needed to keep that running year in, year out, all from youth teams right through to the senior team. To think that somebody potentially within our own community have come out and done what they've done and set fire to the facility. And thankfully, the emergency service were on the scene and got it extinguished pretty quickly. And we thank them for that there. But it's what could have happened and the damage that could have caused to the club. As I say, they've had a number of months now where they've had no games on. Obviously, no games means that the extra bit of finance they can get, they've lost out on it. And to think that they're going to have to use hard-earned money to go and fix something that somebody has deliberately been out and attacked like this here. So anybody who has seen anything or has heard anything or seen anything suspicious in the area around the time it happened, by all means contact ourselves or contact the police in relation to it.
Yeah, and I think, you know, maybe on the surface to look at it, maybe it doesn't seem that serious, but you know, somebody left a canister full of petrol or fuel beside a generator. So the intent, there only can be one you know, in terms of people's intent, and that was to cause maximum damage. And you know, Warrenpoint Town is a great community club, and it really does give back a lot to the community. And as you said, Mickey, to think that, you know, somebody from within, you know, would carry out something like this, you know, it's very sad, it's very unfortunate, and it's really angering, to be honest. But you know, I know the chairman Conor McGreevy was quick to praise the PSNI and the fire service for their quick response. But again, we have just appealed to anybody, if you see anything the early hours of Thursday morning, please do come forward and give that information to the PSNI.
Just sorry, Sinead, just on a positive note, maybe from the club, and it's maybe a mistake on my behalf. I didn't actually send the photograph in, but the club actually launched their new away kit this week, and by all accounts on social media and that there, it seems to have gone down really well. Anybody who wants to have a look at it, it's up for sale now at this moment in time. It's on the club web site. It's also on the club Facebook pages. So
yeah, and I think another positive Warrenpoint Town related note, I think looking at the early predictions in terms of they're using a mathematical formula to decide the league. I think that would guarantee Warrenpoint Town their Premier League status. You know, so again, that's, you know, to the efforts of the coaches and the players and all the staff at Warrenpoint Town as well. It is a big achievement. Yeah, so just following on from
yeah, there's the new strip up now, Sinead. So it is. Thanks, there, Cahill. As you can see, I have to say it's a nice strip. Is there any? As I say, lots of people are commenting on it and think it's one of the better ones they've had. So fair play.
Mm-hmm. Looks very good. Yeah, just to finish off then, Damien, Cal, just a bit of good news, and Kelly O'Hara, a local girl in Warrenpoint. I have to send big congratulations to Kelly. She just completed her law degree in Queen's, and it looks like she's going to be graduating with a distinction. So, you know, I know Kelly very, very well, and I know how hard she worked. And I've been asked to pass on congratulations from all your teammates in Burn, all the Burn ladies. Want to say a big well done to you. So there's Kelly. Kelly's going to be taking part in the Burn to Burn fundraiser on Sunday, and I hope to maybe take part in that myself if I can get my act together before Sunday. So yeah, it's just a big congratulations to Kelly, who looks to be graduating with a distinction in her law degree from Queen's. So well done to you in that. That's it from us.
Well, listen, Sinead and Mickey, a great roundup there of Warrenpoint and Bourne. And yes, Warrenpoint Town have secured their Premier League status for another year, which is great news. And again, they're doing great work down there. So I would say that anybody that's doing anything to the team down there at the club rooms, please stop it. Catch yourselves on and wise up. Warrenpoint City or Warrenpoint Town is a great club, and they're doing great work. I know you'd love to be a city, but that's another story. Maybe in 20 or 30 years we could all be joined up. Who knows? And Sinead, yes, maybe some Monday night we'll get back to the Monday night sports show. It's a while ago since we've done that, and it's always good fun. So listen, Mickey, thanks a million. Sinead, thanks a million.
No problem,
it's a great roundup for down that end of the town. But now we're going to come up to the Armagh man from Newry, and we're going to go to Paddy Harte. Paddy, you have a big thing to do tonight, and I don't want to be holding you back here because I know you've been sitting waiting, and there's going to be a big prize give out here tonight, and somebody's going to get a big surprise. So listen, Paddy, take it away and tell us what's happening around your part of the tree.
Good on, Damien. Thank you. We'll get the usual bit over and done with first. Just firstly, on behalf of the association, just welcome on board the Barcroft. We're delighted to see them joining us now on a Friday night. We would have been to have a very, very close relationship with Barcroft and with the other community associations in the town. So it's always great to hear them on platforms like this, just to keep themselves updated and keep us updated with the goings on and the sharing of experiences. So delighted to see you in there this evening, and hopefully you'll be joining us week in, week out after this. So firstly, this week we have a few birthdays that have come in. So the first birthday up is Patricia McPhee. Patricia is a resident here in the area and would be well known amongst all our friends and good neighbours. So a very happy birthday to Patricia. Patricia, as I know her. Next up, then we have Maria Keenan. Maria is actually one of our committee members, a very active committee member at that, and a well-known comic in the area who's always up for a bit of banter and a bit of crack, and you never see her write a story. And Maria's the only type of girl that goes for a run around the area, and an hour later she'd be standing at the grotto still talking away to you, because she enjoys the crack that much. So a very happy birthday to you both from everybody that here at Threeways Community Association. Next up then, it's that time of year where a lot of students are hearing of their grades and their university degrees and stuff. So we have three. We have one, first of all, for Dylan McElroy. Dylan's grandparents and mother and has hailed from the area for many years. So congratulations to Dylan on getting a first. Also we'll have Jordan Connolly. Jordan has also received the first in his degree. So well done, lads. An awful lot of hard work would have been in there over this past 3 years. So congratulations to you all. And Laura McKeown, Laura's name, I just didn't get it in time there to get it onto the wee graphic, but congratulations to Laura. Laura was actually one of the young people that would have come up through our project. So it's great when you see these young people going off to be organic intellectuals and coming back into their communities and taking the skills that they've learned through university and through different courses and developing them back into the area. So congratulations to all three. No doubt the celebrations will be in full flow, and just you deserve every bit of it, and enjoy your evenings. Next up then, we over this past few weeks have been doing a community champion, and this week we usually put it out to the whole committee, and it usually comes back as a unanimous decision. This time around we didn't do that because we didn't want to let the Alba slip, but our community champion of the week is our very own Patricia O'Gorman. Patricia is our treasurer in Threeways Community Association, but she also facilitates our senior citizens luncheon club on a weekly basis. Also does our youth groups and helps out at the youth club at any stage. Patricia's the type of woman that if you text her and told her that you were looking a hand down the club or something within the hour, should be down there 20 minutes before you, getting stuck in. So on behalf of the association, Tricia, and on behalf of the community, just a massive thank you for everything that you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a yearly basis. Patricia's one of the people that actually got me involved with Threeways many years ago, and it's just testament to the work ethic and to the community commitment that Patricia has in this area, and we're so lucky to have Tricia along with that. With a few wee community notices. The first one is the Fullerton Road is getting roadworks done to it, and I think that's commencing. There's a wee graphic there somewhere that Cal has. I think it's commencing on the 6th of July, and it is going to be the whole of the Fullerton Road, and it is going to be for 9 weeks. So we would just ask anybody that if you are using that road, just to be mindful that there will be roadworks and there probably could end up being delays or reroutes, etc. So if you can avoid that area, just please do so, because the last thing you want to do is meet a bilineary or something on bin day, and that would just cause complete chaos. Another community update is it was brought to the attention by residents of John Mitchell Street, and that was the local councillor, Councillor Harte, and that was in regards to a burnt out vehicle that has happened a few times. So just to keep the residents updated, that Councillor Harte has been action, and that it has been passed on to the relevant authorities, and environmental health, etc., have been involved, and hopefully there'll be a resolution in that in no time. The other one is the St. Clair's Convent. We raised it last week and we just want to reiterate it again this week. And we've had people saying it's young people, etc. It's just not young people. There has been adults being witnessed to going into that site, and we're not having to go with anybody or anything. Our simple thing is it's not a safe area, and we would be advising people not to be entering it whatsoever. It has been passed on to the relevant authorities and the security system, or the security firm who's looking after the site, and it's also been passed on to the developer that something needs to be done. There's many access points, and all what we don't want to happen is for somebody to go into that piece of land and end up hurt and not being found, or being there for a length of time without anybody knowing. So please do refrain from entering that derelict site. Next up then, we have, I'm just making sure that I'm going through it all properly here. We, over this past couple of weeks, have been running a fundraiser to raise funds for our youth project. We run personal social development programs, as a lot of people know, in the Threeways Community Centre, and it's one of our models of excellence, and we're very, very proud of it. And we're very proud of the young people that would have come up through it over the years. So the group have been raising money. A lot of their fundraisers for this year that helps provide youth engagement has been cancelled. So this time we went with an Apple Watch or a Fitbit Versa watch, and we're actually going to do the live draw here this evening. So in total there was 119 sold, and there was 2 free entries there from a wee thing that we did online. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and then we'll do the full live draw so everybody will be able to see it. So it'll come up here now. So here's our number generator. So just so everybody can see that everything's well above board. It is a raffle. We went with all guidelines. So we have everybody's name in there, as you can see. Just scroll through it slowly and you'll be able to see it all. And then that's just everybody that has entered. So the way we're going to do it is it's being done through Google number generator, and I'm just going to test it out here so you can see. So just on the click there, obviously the number will be 10 or 2. That was just out of 10. So we have 121 in for the draw, and again that's all 121 names, and then we're going to click it, and it's number 95, and 95 is Louise Malone. So Louise Malone, congratulations, you're the winner of our Apple Watch or our Fitbit Versa. So all we ask is you just get in touch with ourselves, and just decide if you want the Apple Watch or the Fitbit Versa, and we'll arrange that for you. Just on behalf of the association, on behalf of the young people, a massive thank you to everybody who had entered into the draw, and has helped basically paid up and help us move our youth programs on forward. There's just a couple of more images there just to see as Cathal puts it up. The rope walk, and now we are in a position to be hiring out, and we have a few bookings at present. As you see there, we have followed all guidelines, and we've set up systems in place, and we have all signage in place now. At the minute it says in some of the things like there is 2 meters distance. Now with the relaxation of that, we have stickers ordered and they'll all be replaced in 1 meter. So bookings are taking place. If anybody does want to book the facility, all they need to do is contact us by email at info@threewaysca.co.uk, or they can ring us on 077 6866 9291. And just lastly, one of the things we've been trying to do over the couple of weeks, Damien, is we've been trying to link in with some of the residents who would have grew up in this area all their life, maybe as being born in the area. And we had one of the founding members of the Senior Luncheon Club, when we put it out to the committee to see who we could contact first, Cormac Quinn is the first person that came to mind for everybody. So we done a wee interview with Cormac yesterday, so it was a bit of crack. I think she was getting frustrated with us at the end, with the amount of questions, but a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, a wealth of stories that we were delighted to hear. So I think Cahill's going to show it there, so everybody gets a gist of what we were talking about.
Well, we're hoping for Cahill to do that. Yep. Here comes Cahill. So hopefully, well, we may have a potty, but I'll tell you, you see your draw there when you were doing the draw. I was expecting to see some sort of a wheel turning and all that, but this whole newfangled way of doing it over the computer, it just pulls out a number out of the ether. You know, there's no anticipation. No, there's my number, like the big spindly wheel and all that. Like, but well done to the winner there. And again, Paddy, the work that you're doing there, and the work particularly yourself, and what you're doing. You're a young man, and again, very proud of the area you come from. So I have to say, it's brilliant listening to what you are doing and how you are getting on there. I'm not sure. I don't know if we have that. Absolutely. I'm not sure if we have that. If we haven't got it this week, we'll play it out next week anyway, Paddy. So don't worry about that. But listen, we have it here now.
That does. Padraig here from Threeways Community Association. Just following up with another week of our community news. We wanted to shape it up a wee bit this week, so what we have done is we've reached out into our community and we have found one of our long-term residents and actually a founding member of the Threeways Luncheon Club. So welcome, Carmel. Carmel's going to give us a wee insight really to growing up in this area and how it's changed over the years and her memories of growing up in the area. So it's a wee bit of a history evening and a reminiscence evening. So can you hear us all right, Carmel?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Perfect. So Carmel, do you just want to let everybody know who you are?
I was born in the wee house, the wee, what do I call it? It was a white house, wee white house, what do I call it? And Mrs. Ruddy lived at the other end of it, what do I call it? And I was born there, and there was 4 brothers before me. I was the only girl, and there was a couple of what I call it, children died before, what I call it. And the next thing then was what I call it, my daddy had a party because I was the only girl. So what I call it, he had a party for everybody.
Oh, so you were daddy's girl then.
And then whenever I got up a good bit, what I call it, I remember the house that I was living in now. I remember it getting built. And what I call it, the stairs, what I call it, the man that was doing the stairs put us all down, for we were making ringlets out of the, what I call it. My granny Hannah had a house, a shop up in High Street. He used to have, know where Pat Elmer or Pat McManus used to have the shop?
Yes.
Well, the man had it up there. Oh. What's it called? I can't remember.
The house that you born in, it's the car park at Threeways now.
Oh, yes, yeah. What I call it. And there used to be, beside my granny's house, there was 2 big fields. Used to go down all the what I call it, pick all the vegetables, what I call it. And what I call it, I was over the what I call it, the wire fence, and the man was all having a pet dogs.
Right.
And what I call it, and the next thing I going round, and I went right over, and I cut my leg, and I still have it to this day.
There you go, a war wound.
Oh, there you are.
A war wound from the vegetables.
All right enough, it was really good, like, but I really forget all the things. And we used to go, what I call it, do you know where the big tree is here?
Aye, outside the centre.
Yeah, what I call it. Well, they used to take what I call it, the hearse down.
Right.
Right down, what I call it. There was a lane down, what I call it. From
down into the graveyard.
Yeah, what I call it. All right now, oh God, I forget it, Padraig, I forget all the things. I used to live the turn round and wait here, she wants to tell me this. We were up a tree, know the pole in what I call it, in High Street.
Yes.
Well, we were all doing the swinging. So all the boys came up and they said, we'll push you around. So this fella, Eddie Cunningham, pushed me around and he pushed me up that bar, what I call it. I didn't think I was going to come down again. And the next thing he did was, and he was standing only bar, what I call it, backgammon. And he turned around and he just got a hold of the rope and he just looked at it and he said, what are you doing up there showing your knickers to everybody? And he just cut the rope, what I call it, and then told me that and I was with it.
That was the end of that then.
That was the end of that. But we used to play wee houses down here where the community centre was.
Right.
We used to play wee houses, get a brush and brush all the things over. What would be a bedroom and what would be the kitchen, different things. We used to, and I used to say, what I call it, then we used to have a shop and they used to have lovely money, golden money. That was gold. Oh God, right enough. Oh, I forget all about it.
You're right. So here, listen, your memories then of growing up in this area are very, very happy memories. Your memories of growing up in this area are quite happy.
Oh, the war. And we used to play, what I call it, Harte on the street. And Mrs. Sound used to come out and used to say, Charmel Hannah, if you break that money, I will give it to you. And then I was blamed on everything. And the next thing then, that was all right. Then there was an early man, and he used to come up High Street. And he used to ask us all to sit on the curb. And we would all sit on the curb. And he would do things, you know.
Magic tricks.
Well.
Right, so, Cormac, I'll ask you a few wee questions first, right? So, if you just let us know when and where you were born.
I told you.
Tell me again.
I told you in the wee white house.
In the wee white house.
What I call it? Down the well lane.
What's your date of birth?
What I call
What's
it?
your date of birth?
The 7th.
No, the 20.
Of the 23rd, 33.
33.
Yeah.
The 23rd.
87
the 7th, 33.
87 years of age.
Now, what other questions do you want me to?
I thought you were going to turn around and tell me.
No, I thought you were going to ask me, and I would tell you.
Oh, I know. So here, Cormac, what about your mummy and daddy? What were they like?
Oh, they were great. They were great. And they went out and walked every day. And my mummy walked in the jam factory and everything.
Right, where was the jam factory?
Down there, you know where? Oh, God.
Down the
Down
line.
the line.
We're more.
You know down there?
Where the wind is.
Where the wedding was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's no longer there then, no.
Oh, there is people works in it.
People working in there, yeah. But the jam factory's not there.
The jam factory's not there anymore.
No. And what else do you want to know?
What about Dad? What about Granda? What about Granda workers?
Randy used to, what do I call it? Work in the...
Do you work then? You work.
Oh.
You work.
I work in Harkes.
In Harkes.
And that's where my daddy worked.
Daddy, Granda worked in Harkes as well.
Yeah.
Very good.
What a...
Well, here, you obviously remember your grandparents because you were saying there about your granny's house and stuff. And obviously you were saying about your granny's it used to be the rope walk part of it.
Oh, it was great. We used to go down to the football and watch all the matches getting played.
Different right down to where the common
Here.
No, right down to where
No,
the common wall.
Yeah. What I call it. And I had a couple of chickens and what I call it, all fowl, fowl.
You had chickens anyway, that's for sure.
You had chickens, and what else did you have?
And all vegetables.
Vegetables, perfect.
And it was very slippery.
Was it not Sinclair?
I said, a wee hot. And the next thing, a crowd of girls all got it, and it was the slide. They made it a slide. And I didn't know that they were going to do this. And the next thing, the nun came down and she went on her
backside.
And she called us everything. She called us everything that day. What I call it. And even, what I call it. This book that I had, all had the film stars all in it. And this one told it, what I call it, what I had got. But she got me away. She got the nun to get it and threw it into the fire. That girl, I'm not telling you. I give her a cry. I'm telling you.
Carmel, it sounds as if you were a bit of a rebel.
I did.
You were a rebel in your time, Carmel, weren't you?
No, what I call it.
And here, just about what do you think has the area changed much from when you were younger to now?
It doesn't do nothing that we used to do. Skipping, the hopscotch, everything, what I call it. And used to roll down their eggs, what I call it.
At Easter time?
At Easter time.
Where
they used to be at the rocks. Up the rocks.
From the top
and
to the bottom.
And we used to pay houses up the rocks. What I call it. But they used to make slides when it was good weather. No. What I call it. When it was good weather. What I call it. Used to turn around and get big things of what I call it. Cardboard. What I call it. And we all used to slide down the rocks, away from the top, down to the very bottom.
You have a lot of memories, Carmel. A lot of memories. All happy memories.
I never do it. I never do it now. I would love to do that. Here, I would love to do that. Got a lot in, what I call it, a cardboard back and just go up there locks and
well, here, I don't want to be coming down to the centre someday and seeing you landing at the bottom of it. I don't think that'll go down too well. Somebody in a wheelchair helping somebody in a wheelchair helping an 88-year-old off the ground. They'd be ringing an ambulance for the two of us, Cormac.
No, I was learning what I call it. I got a good learn what I call it. And my granny was very good to me. And we used to go up we used to go up every Friday morning and get a trumpy bit off her. That's for sure.
Your stories are lovely to hear. They really are.
What do you call your friend? What do you call your friend? What do you call your friend?
What friend?
The girl you hung around with when you were growing up.
Maura Keenan. Maura Keenan. She was 23rd of July of June, and I was the 23rd of July.
So here, I think you wanna say a wee happy birthday to Maura, don't you? Saying it's Maura's birthday this week.
Happy birthday, Maureen. Or Maura.
Very good, very good. And here, Cormac, you're one of the founding members more recently. Now, in your later years, in your adult years, you're one of the founding members of the luncheon club that we would have here in Threeways. So I'm sure you have many memories of it over the years.
Hey, I want to know the memories that you have with Patricia and them and doing the club.
Yes, I love the hall. I love it. I miss it.
I know, and it misses you, Cormac, because you've been very good.
Oh, I would barely miss it. And if I don't go, I have a face on the lad of the day tomorrow.
And we all love to see you coming, we really do. And I think you enjoy it every week, and it's great to see, and it's nice to have that wee resource. So, is there any memories even of it you have over the years? Is there anything that you've done over the years with the group that's really stuck out, that you've enjoyed or that you never forget?
Here. What about is this going to?
Never mind that. He wants to know what sticks out in your mind about the luncheon club that you go to with Trish and that. Is there something that you really liked?
No, I love everything. I love everything. I look for what I call it.
When you get somebody else to do your arts and crafts for you.
And the bingo. I don't have a pen.
Or a glass.
Well,
no,
I like Patricia. I love her.
She's one of the best. She really is.
Yeah.
They're a great group.
They really are.
I think Patricia's can't wait just to get these back in, and hopefully it'll not be too long before you're back and doing your activities and that again. But
this is our first day out, Padraig.
Oh, well, here we're fortunate enough to see always a Threeways woman. She's away doing stuff for us on her first day out.
Well, what I call it, Patricia used to put up best things for cheese, biscuits, sandwiches, everything.
She loves that.
It really was. It's really good, what I call it. And I would do anything for you.
Oh, we know, Cormac. We know very really. But here, it's safe to say then you wouldn't have wanted to be reared in any other part of the town bar here.
No.
You're a high street woman through and through.
What I call it, I'd look right in a what I call it, a palm box.
Oh yeah. That's not a bit morbid. That's not a bit morbid for an evening, is it?
That's it.
Well, here you're very well known in the area anyway, and you've been, I suppose, especially with Threeways, you've been involved a number of years. You used to be involved in the association, and that I'm well aware of back in the day.
Oh, they were great.
You would have been doing what I'm doing now, what? No? Oh, I think you would have. There's been great comments about you, Cormac. That's for sure.
Oh, God, I'm made it.
Just fond of memories of the high street discos when you were chairperson.
Oh, great. And I forgot There was one in Castle Street, just facing McCann's Bakery, over
Right,
there.
right.
What does it call it? And the Colombian. We used to go to their
discos.
the disco. What I call, and the Kales.
Is that where you use the term curtain? Is that what you would have been curtain then?
What? I beg your pardon.
I'm sure there was many men out
We
there
used
today.
we used to get our mommies what I call, and they get all off the balcony, you know, and then more.
Oh, no. I wouldn't think about it.
Wasn't it? I was a rough one, wasn't it?
Oh, you can be a wee flirt, especially when you're down here. You know how to wrap a few of us around your finger. That's for sure.
Oh God, I'm made
You
it.
were chairperson of Threeways before, weren't you?
You were the chairperson when you were running
Yes,
the hall.
yes.
When was that? Can you remember?
No.
No.
Back in the 80s.
The 80s. Well,
It must have been.
a lot has much changed since then.
Yeah, because even if we were punished, we weren't allowed to go to the discos on a Sunday night. You wouldn't let us in.
And that was your own mother as the chairperson, Katrina.
Yeah.
And I was I forgot. We went up to see Mother Pacifica. And what I call it, I forget what we were up for. Oh, left my head.
You're fine.
No matter.
Again, just to reiterate, you know yourself, you're saying there, you had a very good childhood, you were reared very well, you got on with your neighbours, you had a lot of friends up around this area, many of whom are still living in the area, and you'll be leaving this area only in one way. So I think that's testament to yourself, Cormail, and to this community. I suppose it's always been a very close-knit community, and hopefully over the years it'll continue to be that. So just on behalf of the association, just thank you for everything that you've done in the past 4 year area, and that's especially in running the centre. You know yourself, it's not easy to run a centre whatsoever, and we're just delighted that we get to see you on a weekly basis down enjoying your activities now in your retirement years, and hopefully there's many more of them to come that you can get down with us, and that we can make even more current memories that you'll be able to cherish over the years.
I suppose more than likely by putting this up and by calling me everything.
Cal, I'll have it up. Now everybody will be watching this. When you're talking now, the next time everybody's going to be hearing this, so you can shout them all a big hello there if you want.
Hello.
What?
Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Hello, Patricia. I love you.
And that's lovely. Cormail, you're a wee lady. Thank you so much.
Not at all. You're welcome.
Good stuff.
I'm a score jumper.
No, far from it. Right, so Cormail, your first school was, can you remember?
Remember what?
Where was your first school?
St. Clair's.
St. Clair's. Have you any first memories ever of the school?
Oh, yes, very much, yes.
What would be your first memories of the school?
I love school. I really did love school. I used to thought. What?
What was your school like?
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Was it rack and rooms or was it?
No, it was all right. It was all right.
Was it cold?
Yeah.
Was it cold? Was there any heating in it or that?
Not at all. You had to put your coat on what I call it, when you're in the classroom. And then the teacher or the nun used to take the coat off you. Get your coat off you.
You were sitting there.
Very good. Here, so see when you, years ago, like now you near have 2-3 cars to a house. What was it like traveling when you were younger? Did you have cars? Was it bikes?
What way did you travel? Did Granda have a car?
Yes. No.
Did you go on bikes or walk?
On bicycles.
On bicycles?
Yeah. And used to walk. Used to walk
everywhere.
Yeah. Till what I call it, the point. What I call it. And a 6. Yeah. It used to be 6 miles to the point, but geez, there's that.
Right, all right.
We used to walk to the point.
Walk the whole way there and the whole way back.
Yeah.
Here, imagine saying that to a young person now. Come on, we'll take a walk.
You must be joking.
And here, you done that without any arguments.
They can't do without that.
With their mobiles. But here, just as you said that, Carmel, years ago, now young people all have mobiles. That's how they decide where they're going to meet up and what time they're going to meet. How did you decide that? How did that happen?
No.
How did you meet? No, if you were going to arrange something to go somewhere. Did you do it?
We'd all get together. What I call it name and make the arrangements. What I call it.
So everything was just gathered on the street and then we'll decide what we're going to do.
Right. That was great. Really great.
So you prefer it that way? All different now from the mobile?
Oh, I'd rather have the old way and now.
Then that's way. What about Newry? What about Newry when you were growing up, Carmel? What would Newry have been like? Because Newry's a different place now for us.
Oh, for God's sake, there's more shops closed than anything else. I've never seen anything like it. That street is not a shop of it.
Years ago, it was the centre point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely. Lovely. Even you used to go down the street at night time, and they used to the what I call it. The things used to put up and used to look at all the clothes, everything.
Shutters.
Yeah.
Looked in the shop windows.
You had to look at it, but now.
Can't do that.
No.
Used to where did you used to eat?
Where?
There was a big shop that you used to go to in it. In Hill Street years ago.
Oh, Malacca's. You always go to Malacca's.
Right. That was the hangout spot, was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't cost so even. But we all have one drink. A whole lot of it. And we're taking a wee stuff out of the ball.
Right. Imagine asking a young person to do that now. You hear, sure, a drink.
Yeah. Good luck your way.
Yeah. Very good. Hold on there. I think I've one or two more. Here, the crack's good, Carmel. Anyway, what about shopping? Like we've Super Value and all now. What you have had Super Value or?
What about the wee shop that you used to find anything in it from a needle to a
Oh, yeah, no, that is Mary Fitzpatrick. You know where the convent is?
Yeah.
The convent is.
Yeah.
Well, the house next to it used to be Sargefields. And the house next to it used to be what I call it. What did I say it was? Oh, what I call it? At Mary Fitzpatrick. And Mary she had a shop. And one day I was coming home and she says to me at the door, she says, Carmen, she says, you owe me a halfpenny. And I looked at her. She said, what? When did I owe you a halfpenny? Well, she says the other day, she says, you never paid me what I asked you for. Oh, well, that's all right. She said, I'll tell you what I call it. I got, did it vary the halfpenny. Oh, they driving up home and took it down to give her.
No, the shop that you used to go, you used to go into the big shop and all dark, and you could find anything that you wanted in it.
Oh, that's the way. That's the way. You know, oh, where the entry was. Do you know where the entry used to be? You don't remember the entry?
No, nope.
No. Well, there used to be an entry going down to the chapel. But then there was another one. And this wee woman was houses all there. And here she had everything and anything you would ever ask for.
What was the name? Can you remember the name of the shop?
No. I don't want to think she had a name for the shop.
Who's the one that do you remember?
No.
No. What about the big shop that you used to go to in the street? What about the big shop you used to go and get your clothes in?
Oh, Clouds.
Where was the other one?
Clouds. Do you know where the Britain Bridal is? Well, there used to be a shop. Oh, the Britain Bridal is there. It's a corner shop.
Yes.
There's a big there. And there's a big shop that used to be there. It's still there. It's somebody else. So they used to sell all their clothes and everything in it. We went in till Carl's one day and we went to see a photo. Margaret Tory was with me. Margaret Tory went in and Margaret fitted every coat that was there. And she says to the woman, she says, no, I don't think it would do me. And we walked in.
Window shopping, isn't that what they call it? Window shopping, trying everything on and up and up. You're 87 years of age this year, and I'm sure there's many big things that happened throughout your life. Is there anything that you can remember? One of the memories that we were talking about was, I think it was 1971 or 72. You were discussing how you were witness to a fire that happened.
Yeah. What do I call it? The soldiers wouldn't let anybody in. They had it all barricaded. And they wouldn't let nobody in. They let the young fella out. And he was wounded. And what I call it, Barron's was born. Barron's was at the bottom of High Street. At the very bottom of High Street there.
That was another fire, was it?
You know where? Yes, they set at the fire too. And they took all the mats and everything out of it, the 3 pieces and everything. What I call it.
And was it broke into, Cornwall?
What?
Was it broke into?
Yes. And then it was set afire.
Terrible. And you seen that as well, did you?
No.
And
no.
What was that shop called?
What?
What was that shop called?
3 pieces and everything.
What's the shop called?
Bannon's.
Bannon's. And where at the bottom of High Street, was it?
At the bottom of North Street.
Just before we finish up, thank you. As I said to you, when we were discussing this, we're hoping to introduce a few people who have grew up over the years in the area and just really hear about their experiences. So when we were putting it out there amongst the association, you were the first one that everybody thought of straight away, because we knew fine rightly that you would have a lot of knowledge and you have a lot of community experience. So just on behalf of the association, as I said, thank you for everything that you have done for your community over the years. You've been a real asset to the community. A lot has changed probably since you were running the show here in Threeways, and I'm sure if we all give the same commitment that you would give, then those coming up after us will be in the same position that some of us are in now. So thank you from everybody in Threeways, and thank you for doing this today. It was great to actually hear some of the stories. Usually myself and yourself would be sitting with a wee cup of tea on a Tuesday afternoon having a bit of crack. So to hear your life experiences has been quite exciting. So thank you.
Well, I thank you too. And thank you for all the committee and what I call it, especially you and what I call it, Patricia. There you
You're a wee lady. You're a lady. Orville, thank you. And I'll get talking to you soon.
Well, thanks, Carmel Quinn. What an absolute legend of a lady. She was brilliant there. And of course, if you have if anybody that would maybe want, or you can think of anybody in your area or your community that would be interested in doing that, what a story that lady told us. And funny enough, when she did talk about the fire in Hill Street, I do remember that, and it was very, very tragic indeed. And I thought she was going to talk about the night Foster Newells went up as well, but very, very tragic. But listen, thanks to everybody for tuning in. And don't forget, Monday night, where we have Una Walsh talking about the history of South Armagh. But I can tell you, Threeways have a new hero. Carmel Quinn, you are a legend. And the last word goes out to the legendary Carmel Quinn up there in the Threeways. So Monday night, 7:30, Una Walsh will be talking about the history of South Armagh. Tune in. It'll be a great evening. Thanks a million to everybody for tuning in tonight.